Please tell me you're recording this. You are crazy.
I'm so
right
tired of you. I'm so tired of you. I'm so tired of you.
You are making this so much worse. Please tell me you're recording this, please. You are going to lose custody of Damien for this. Why would you do this?
Why would I lose custody when you...
Look at you. You broke my fucking window.
Let go.
Can you stop? Like, what the fuck? Stop. Can you? No, we need to call someone.
Okay.
Like, this is actually ridiculous.
Yep.
She's crazy.
Any man that's like super obsessed with boobs and fake boobs is someone that you should stay away from. And I wholeheartedly agree with that. And it's hard to put your finger on what it is, but there's something very sinister about a man that's like too into boobs. And I want to add to that like if you say you're a boob guy, but you only like fake boobs, there's nothing wrong with fake boobs. But if you exclusively like fake boobs or only like super duper perky natural boobs, you're not actually a boob guy. And I would actually venture to say you probably don't even really like women. And I won't elaborate on that.
So younger men want older women just for a shag, or do younger men want older women for companionship, relationships? What is the overall vote for that? Like, I feel like everyone says, they only want one thing, but in my experience that's not true, and I have been married to somebody that was 13 years younger, so it didn't work out, but we were together for a very long time, and ultimately I was the one that chose to end it. But I do believe that it can work. What are your thoughts?
I just had a terrible interaction at the gym tonight. I was doing hanging leg raises, and this guy came up to me, like maybe a foot away from me, and he was like, "Hey, how are you?" And I didn't respond because I was in the middle of my set. Then when I finished, I was just hanging there. I was like, "Good, how are you?" He's like, "Good, how's your workout going?" And I was like, immediately my spidey senses were tingling. I was like, something's weird. Anyway, he asked me how my workout is going, and I was like, well, it was good. He was like, cool, yeah, I just got here. I just got off work. He's like talking to me like we've known each other. I don't know who he is. I've never seen him before in my life. I was like, okay, I don't really like being bothered when I'm working out, so you can leave me alone. He was like, whoa, like I'm just trying to work on my conversation skills. I was like, cool, you can go work on that with somebody else. He was like, well, I see a beautiful woman and I think it's a perfect opportunity. And I was like, not with me. Then I get down. He goes, okay.
Bring back men who are willing to pursue you, because I just left the gym and I just experienced the most attractive thing a man can do. Whew, it is hot. It was the one day I happened to not have headphones on because they were dead. So instead of having my blinders on and music blaring, I could actually see my surroundings and I was more aware of what was going on. A few benches down from where I was working out, there was a guy who I thought was really cute. We made eye contact through the mirror. I continue my workout and I feel like we keep having these little glances across the room. Not even 15 minutes later, this man approaches me. Mind you, it is a very full gym. It's in the free weights section. Every bench is taken, so there's a lot of people around us. He approaches me, makes conversation, and asks for my number. Not only did he immediately text me after getting my number, but it was the cutest text. For some reason, this was my first time seeing him. Again, I think it's because I normally have my blinders and music on. But today just happened to be the day that I didn't have my headphones on, so I was more aware of my surroundings. I love that he was forward and upfront. I feel like guys these days just feel like they have to be so reserved and mysterious. I'm like, that's a girl's job. Let us do that. Your job is to pursue and let us know your intentions.
She's accusing men for being sinister, for having basic male visual standards, which is a classic shaming tactic designed to lower the bar for what you're allowed to find attractive. When she claims that preferring perkiness means you don't even really like women, it's an aggressive form of gatekeeping where she tries to define what an authentic attraction should look like, usually to align it with whatever she's currently packing. The refusal to elaborate is the best part. It's a psychological dodge because she knows the logic falls apart the second it's scrutinized. By framing a man's specific visual taste as a red flag, she's trying to shift the burden of performance off the woman and onto the man's moral compass. It's a transparent incentive to get you to settle for the natural average while making you feel guilty for wanting the premium version. This all makes perfect sense when we take a look at her assets. As you can see, she has nothing, so it's no wonder why she created her video. It's pure cope. You have to understand the incentive structure for a guy in his 20s here. He isn't usually looking for a life partner in a woman who's already seen her best years. He's looking for a low-resistance environment where he can gain experience without the high-stakes demands of a younger woman who wants a ring and a mortgage. She mentions her marriage to a younger man didn't work out, yet she still clings to the idea that it can work because she was the one who ended it. In reality, these dynamics are almost always transitional. The younger man gets a soft place to land and some tutelage, and the older woman gets to feel like she's still in the game. But eventually the man's value rises, his options expand, and he starts looking for the fertility and future that she simply can't provide anymore. She's calling it companionship, but for the man, it's usually just a comfortable pit stop on the way to his actual destination.
You got that right.
She's attempting to pathologize a man's attempt at small talk as if it's a predatory threat to her safety. When he admits he's practicing his conversation skills, she treats it like a weakness to be exploited rather than a human moment to be respected. The incentive for her here is the social capital she gains by retelling the story, framing herself as the high-value prize who successfully swatted away an intruder. She doesn't realize that by being so aggressively hostile to a harmless "how are you," she's effectively helping to create the cold, sterile environment she'll eventually complain about when she hits 35 and wonders why men have stopped looking her way. She thinks she's setting a boundary, but she's really just building a cage out of her own ego. Then women wonder why men refuse to approach women.
They've brought their fates upon themselves.
The psychological whiplash here is enough to give you a permanent case of vertigo. One woman calls a polite gym approach a terrible interaction and frames a guy's conversation skills as a predatory threat, while the next woman is practically glowing because a cute guy did the exact same thing. It highlights the only rule that actually matters in these spaces. The behavior is irrelevant. It's the man's perceived value that determines the category. If she finds you attractive, you're pursuing and intentional. If she doesn't, your spidey senses should have told you to stay 10 feet away. They want the high-value man to risk social rejection in a crowded room, but they've made the cost of entry so high and the rules so contradictory that most men have just stopped playing. She's cheering for this guy because he successfully gambled on her ego, but she's completely oblivious to the fact that her own peer group is the reason most guys are staying reserved and mysterious, just to avoid a viral shaming video.
Well, it's her own fault.
Real men of genius.